There's a lot of fun, creative, and interesting 3D platformers out there, and there's a new one called Unbox that's now available. But should this game be shipped straight to your console, or should it just get lost in the mail? Unbox Newbie'S Adventure is a 3D platformer where you're playing as a cardboard box. Unbox will remind you immediately of other 3D platformers, but the method of control of your character is vastly different from others. Since you're playing as a box, you can't just walk around on your legs, instead you have to roll around. And this rolling cube mechanic takes a little bit to get used to, but the game does a decent enough job with it. Even if there are some times when you end up getting caught on corners and the jumping doesn't quite work the way you were hoping for, the overall aesthetic and rolling around as a box is still pretty enjoyable. Newbie doesn't have a whole lot of moves in his arsenal. He's able to jump using the R1 button, and the L1 button is used to shed his box and send him propelled up into the air. You're able to do this up to 6 times, and this is counted in the lower left corner, and you can grab health boxes to replenish this ability, as well as it will refill up if you make it to a checkpoint, which is represented by various mailboxes throughout the world. The game features a small hub world that you get to move around in, and on also the main levels that you'll get to go to explore and collect all the game's various items. The main collectible in the game is the stamps, which work like the jiggies or stars in other platformers, and you'll be getting these from completing various quests or just finding them throughout the world. There's also 200 golden tapes to find in every single one of the levels, including the hub world, which will probably take you quite a bit to do. These are pretty much your coins or music notes to collect. For the most part, the quests that you'll be completing to help out the citizens of this world and get your stamps are pretty simplistic. You'll have a time limit and have to defeat a certain number of enemies, or do a checkpoint race, or deliver an item within that time, or stuff like where you'll be traveling around a facility and turning on switches to get electric power going to certain places. Each level also contains the Master Stamp, which is basically for beating the boss of that particular world. To unlock the boss encounter, you need to collect a number of the regular stamps in that world in order to get to it. The boss battles are rather standard, but interesting considering the whole box mechanic. The game in general has a pretty lax difficulty to it. Lots of checkpoints all around. You're not penalized if you do end up dying or having to respawn, and for the most part, time limits as well as just getting to where you need to is pretty lax, though there are times where it does increase a bit in difficulty. The worlds you get to explore are quite nice looking, even though it does slow down from time to time with some frame rate issues here and there, and the cast of characters are pretty fun. They actually even sound like characters directly from the likes of Banjo-Kazooie or more recently Yooka-Laylee in their voice acting. Unfortunately, the game isn't particularly long. Even with multiple worlds to explore and a decent amount of collectibles, it'll probably only take you 3 to 4 hours at most to get through the main story, and maybe an extra hour or so to do the extra collecting. From the technical side of things, like I mentioned earlier, there was a decent amount of slowdown here and there, but the game also ended up freezing up on me between load screens a couple of times, and load times in general are also pretty long, so I waited an extra bit of time just to see if the game would finally get going, but after a couple of minutes at a load screen, I decided to reset it. Unbox Newbie'S Adventure is available now on the PS4, Xbox One, and PC for $19.99, and it will also be coming to the Nintendo Switch down the road. On the PS4 though, unfortunately, it does not have a Platinum trophy. Overall, Unbox Newbie'S Adventure is a fun little cute 3D platformer. It's not going to really wow fans of the genre, but I think those who like a more casual 3D platformer, maybe new to gaming, or younger kids, may end up getting a kick out of what the game does. I just wish it was a tad bit longer, and the technical issues didn't get in the way of it. With everything said though, I can't help but still like the game, and I'm going to be giving it a 7 out of 10. But anyway guys, it's going to wrap up this review. I'd like to thank you for watching, and of course I hope you enjoyed.